That's just who he is.
Do you know that the victim in this case was a woman that he helped commit this robbery on? You do know that?
Yes.
How do you know that? Just have to ask you, how do you reconcile telling the court that he has compassion because he's seen you as a woman be abused, but he's out there helping the victimization of other women?
Sir, he is, I know right now he's 18 years old, but he was 17 years old when this happened. He's been through a lot of traumatic things in his life. And I believe that you shouldn't be judged for mistakes. Those are how you grow. That's how you build who you are. That's life.
But
Granted, I feel bad. I can't even imagine how it would feel if I was put in that situation. I go, but I still wouldn't wish jail on anybody.
okay,
Consider,
to your knowledge, was he forced to help be the driver, getaway driver for this?
I don't know what I will.
To your knowledge, if you know, listen. If you don't know, you don't know.
I believe that he didn't go with the intention that that's what they were going to do.
Would it surprise you to say that when he was interrogated by the police, he admitted to knowing that this robbery was going to happen, definitely involved?
Yes, I would be.
So this isn't a mistake. This is a choice that he made.
I want him to take credibility of that's what happened. And no, I actually, I had just had surgery, like 2 days before that happened. So I took meds. He gave me dinner, and he said he was going to bed. So when people came to the house, I didn't even know he had left.
Oh, so he told you he was going to bed, but that was not the truth.
Mhm.
He was out doing this robbery.
Mhm.
Okay. So he had no knowledge that the car was stolen?
No.
You had no knowledge that he was transporting someone to do an armed robbery at the Circle K?
No,
You had no idea the gun was involved?
no,
You had no idea he ran from the police afterwards?
no.
Interrogated by the police, he admitted to knowing that this robbery was going to happen, definitely involved.
Yes, I would be.
So this isn't a mistake. This is a choice that he made.
I want him to take credibility of that's what happened and what he did. Yes.
So talking about credibility, would it surprise you to know that in the victim impact statement, when asked about the incident on offense, he said, "I have no comments. I had 2 bottles of liquor." He reported the use of alcohol at the time of the offense.
Yeah.
Would it also surprise you that when asked about the victim, he says, "I was not the person that actually did any of these crimes because I was there, that was why I was arrested."
Right. So that was 9 months ago. I'm not sure. I mean, I know
Just what you, I know you don't know the legal words, but what do you?
Robbery.
robbery
Okay.
and the using a car without permission.
Okay.
Okay. What are his plans once this matter, this case is behind him one way or the other? What are his plans?
He starts school on the 24th.
Judge,
All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 000426 and 2026 CR 000424, State versus Jose Ismael Salazar. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Brendan Prater for the state.
Robert Ariano for the defendant.
All right. So we had a tentative beginning to this hearing. There were several documents that were submitted to the court through email, and there were no objections to the court reading those, so I read those over the break. There was no objection to the court reviewing the PSI and TAP evaluation, so I reviewed the PSI and TAP evaluation. So as previously stated, cause number 2026 CR 000424. According to your plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 2 years in the state jail facility. This will run concurrent with 2026 CR 000426. And in cause number 2026 CR 000426, according to your plea bargaining agreement, punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 10 years to the lesser included offense of robbery, and it's to run concurrent with 2026 CR 000424. And in each of the cause numbers, the state is opposed to your applications.
Case.
I love my son and I want the best for him. And I know his decisions caused a lot of people troubles, but I know that he's ready to do good. And I believe that if punishment is needed because he needs to be accountable, but I believe that jail is not what he needs and actually would stunt his moving forward in life.
Last witness.
Few questions.
When did Jose ever leave the house because of his father?
Yes,
How long was he gone?
months.
Where would he sleep?
And he slept in cars, he slept with his friends. I'm not sure.
When did he finally come back?
In 15.
Why did he come back?
He was tired of living on the streets and doing wrong and decided he wanted to do right. And I did right by him by making his father leave.
Thing that we impress upon them is that there is no savior. They must be the hero of their own story.
How did you come to know Jose?
Jose came, when I first met Jose, he was traveling through a difficult period in his time, in his life. So he ended up at Rise Inspire Academy, which was the school attached to Rise Recovery.
Did they refer them to you, or is that where you met him?
That's where I met him. And then he was referred to be on my caseload by the licensed social worker there based on the demographics of his ACEs.
Have you assessed him for the program with Urban Apostles?
I did. He came into Urban Apostles shortly after this case, I believe, occurred. And then at that time, we reassessed him. Originally, we assessed him at Rise Inspire Academy. However, we assessed him using their tools.
Okay. And after your assessment, what is your impression of him?
My original impression, my first assessment of Jose was that there was 3 forms of enablers that we measured. We measured the family enabler, the personal enablers, and the community enablers. Jose scored highest in family enablers as a direct result of the ACEs based on the abandonment issues and the disappearing father. And then the community is where he scored highest next because of the community that he lived in. Although it's situated on the northwest, it is one of those pockets of low income or poverty within the northwest. So it doesn't enjoy all of the greater financial successes of the area that he was reared in.
If the court places Jose on community supervision, what specifically could Urban Apostles provide him with or assist him with?
Well, the court has already trusted Urban Apostles to some extent because we testified on his behalf when you put him on monitor. And so we have provided him with work opportunities. We've also provided him with opportunities to grow his own voice. Even though he can't move around a lot, we've had Zoom meetings which allowed him to participate. He's come to some social events even prior to being put on monitor. So what we would do moving forward is he would still be a member of our program. We would still support him in every way possible to encourage him to shake the generational curses, remind him that he is not the circumstances he was born into, and to excel in his life, especially in the higher education. We believe in education for liberation.
Would services also include continued job placement or support with his current employment?
Yeah, we will continue to use it. Earlier, I stated that one of our biggest objectives in contact with justice impacted youth was turning perceived community liabilities into community assets. What that means is after he has completed a certain amount of time within our program, learned our curriculum. He then carries the message to the people behind him in junior high school and elementary.
Would this also include counseling, and if so, what kind?
Yeah, we never stopped mentoring, and we're mentoring all the way through 24. And as situations arise, transformation and recovery is not a linear event. So all of the complexities that may go in, that made up his character from the ACEs, as those are revealed, we refer him out to higher level of care if necessary.
Okay. How would the program coordinate with probation officers or report to the court if needed?
Even now, what we do is we have an open line of communication, first of all. And probation is invited to all of our events to participate if they would like. And then where they're struggling or we can bridge the communication gap between him and probation, we also do that.
Okay. Based on your experience and your assessment of Jose, do you think he's a good candidate for community supervision?
I think Jose's a good candidate for community supervision for a couple of reasons. Number one, he scored highest in family enablers. That situation no longer exists in his home. His mother took care of that. Secondly, his community enablers. His mother took care of that by moving to a location in Kirby into a multi, family community. And so with those two things off the board, I believe that his own ambition, he graduated from high school of his own accord. Like he left Rogers Fire Academy without a high school diploma. He enrolled himself in SAU. He got a high school diploma. He continues to work with us and for us, even in volunteer capacity. I know that he's not here because of anything good or any type of conduct that would be considered acceptable. However, as a young person, to derail them now in not use incarceration or punitive measures, if not necessary, transformation doesn't really happen in those environments. In my experience, and his best shot of being a productive member of society is for him to remain in society.
Past witness.
No question.
How long would he be allowed to stay in your program or have some sort of supervision through your program?
Till he was 24 years old. So they moved from teen to young adult to adult, and we try to transition them through the same exact way by finding transitional housing, sober housing, and then plugging them in with community resources. Education is our primary goal with people like Jose.
Okay, so he'll be supervised by you all if I grant his application until he's 24.
Yes, ma'am.
And then how do you move them to the part of their life where you signified as young adulthood?
Okay, so when they move to young adult, that's really the age between 18 and 21. Like
Okay.
they have adult responsibilities, but not complete responsibility yet. And so at that time, we also realized that the neurosciences, his brain is still developing, he's still going through a learning process. So we support him in every way we can, especially with our partners over at Emotion Wellness.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so sorry to go out of order. How old is your client?
18.
Okay, so he's currently 18.
Turned 18 in May. Right.
Sure.
If you knew that Jose violated his probation or committed another crime, would you report him?
If I knew he committed another crime, I would encourage him to go down there and discuss it with his probation officer. Not only would I encourage him, I'd give him a ride.
Okay. Past witness.
No further questions, Judge.
Any further questions?
No, nothing further for this